Yo, 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 good morning. Grateful for another maggot-free day above the dirt. Jersey Shore, check it out. So, today's video is called Don't Be a Sloth. And it seems recently, there's this big rage about sloths and how cute they are and whatever. And I'm not saying they're not. But the Buddha was talking about being a sloth 2,600 years ago. So, Buddhism talks about the hindrances of meditation. And my modern take on that is every moment of life is a meditative experience. So it's not about just sitting on the cushion, of course. It's about taking your practice off the cushion and bringing that mindfulness into everything we do. So one of the hindrances is called sloth. That's the traditional version. The modern version has kind of migrated to sleepiness or being tired, and that's definitely a reality. We can be physically, emotionally, mentally exhausted, and it affects our meditation, and it affects our daily life, our ability to control our reactions, to manage them, to not engage at all, to manage our own inner self, our own frustration, anger, temper, whatever it might be. But I key in on what my feeling or my opinion is the most important part of the hindrance of sloth, which is being lazy. And this for me is probably the worst place to be in practice. Even worse than, let's say, screwing up, acting out harmfully, and then getting knocked a few steps backwards to come forward again and have to deal with the consequences and trying to transform and transcend that harmful conditioning and action and the consequences of it. And the reason I say that is because even if just like I say, bad meditation is good meditation if you're completely present with it, and the desire to be spiritual is being spiritual. To screw up, be aware of we're screwing up, and then try to rectify it and try to use it as a stepping stone and a tool for growth. Maybe not the healthiest, most optimum way for spiritual growth, but it is a part of the process for all of us. So for me, at least something positive comes out of that, and it is part of the process of spiritual transformation. Sloth, however you want to say it, being lazy is being stuck, being complacent, going nowhere, resting on our laurels, not caring. It's the place in practice where we know we need to do something and we choose not to. We say, F it, I don't feel like it, and we stay where we are. It's that, but it's also just not having the mindset to want to go further, even if we're completely satisfied where we've gotten to. That is a dangerous place to be, because from there, if we have no desire or intention to keep moving forward in our growth, ultimately that's a decision to go backwards. And I think that's the most dangerous place, because when we do go backwards, what makes it different than screwing up with a mindset of not wanting to screw up is we don't care. There's an indifference there. We're like, you know what, whatever, and I'll deal with it. So it's really important to, it's not semantics. The distinction is, if we're really working at spiritual practice, we're going to screw up. We're going to have some regrets. We're going to wish we didn't say or do some things. We're going to get knocked back a few steps to come forward. But it keeps, the importance is the drive to continue forward. And that's being present and engaged with our practice. But to just be lazy and complacent and rest on the laurels of where we're at is fine with us. And, yeah, I could do this, but I'm not going to. To make a choice not to do is the worst, most dangerous place to be. Because to make, when we screw up, we're not making a choice to screw up, in essence. Sometimes things are so deeply ingrained in our harmful conditioning and reactions that, we don't really have much of a choice other than to try to weaken the conditioning and manage the reaction once it happens, and hopefully it gets less and less and more manageable. But to make make the choice not to go forward and do something healthy is probably the unhealthiest place we can be. So I hope this was helpful to you. Have a great maggot-free day above the dirt, and peace out.